right. Hello, hello. It's the Friday Coven, and we are now live. So I'm welcoming you into this space as I welcome myself. I tried to get here earlier, and it's still 4:30. Wow, it's so interesting. I want to celebrate that I am one of the most amazing time spenders where I can do absolutely nothing and time just moves, you know? I can be really busy, but I can also just sit and be. And that is a really big skill. So I want to really celebrate that. Okay, so as you all know, I did my part in the Gotham Comedy Club, New York City Comedy Club, and it was amazing. If you were there, you're lucky. And for the people that weren't there, I kept saying, there'll be more, there'll be more. And guess what? There's more. There's another one coming up on May 31st. So grab your ticket for that if you haven't yet done that. And actually, I'm not part of the customer service for Gotham Comedy. So you can Google Gotham Comedy Club, May 31st. And that is the new talent show. And it's a Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. Okay. So do that on your own. And today we're going to talk about authenticity. So, something that I saw, I got to see like a minute or two of a clip. And I see a lot of videos of myself, and I've been doing videos for like 8 to 10 years live, just like this. And what I get to see in these videos is the most comfort that I've ever seen myself. And so I know that when I help clients get comfortable being on their own mic, that it's coming from a place in me that is so true. And authenticity is not something that we sit, home thinking like, "Oh, I want to be more authentic." But if you're not being authentic, here's what it feels like. So it feels like something's missing. It feels like you're frustrated. It feels like you think you may need more boundaries. It feels like people don't understand you, or you see them being pushed away. So I recently did, and most of you saw it, a summit about dating. And when I work with people, I don't work just on one thing. Like, if you have a lady in your life, you're going to be amazing. It goes into all areas of life. But what I find is that most people are just so frustrated about being themselves, about the way they operate, that whatever they pick to blame it on seems like the problem, but it's actually not the problem. The problem that we need to solve for is ourselves being more authentic, being more real. And we don't even realize we're doing it. So a lot of times when I'm talking to people, they're saying something. They're like ABC, ABC, ABC. And I'm like, oh, what I hear in that ABC, ABC is XYZ. And they're like, oh, yeah. So, my job as a behaviorist, as a life coach, is to reflect back what I hear, because I speak to many men and many women and I lead many workshops and I know behavior. So, if I ask someone, what's the most exciting thing that you have for the summer? And they're like, well, I'm going to be celebrating my birthday, so I guess that's exciting. Now, that's pretty obvious, maybe. They're talking about their birthday, but they're supporting their head. Their voice is like, "Meh," and it's not exciting at all. And so, a very simple example is me naming that and being like, what's really happening for you around your birthday? And then they might say, well, I'm really missing the relationship I had, or I'm missing my mother or my father, and they can't be there. And then the whole exploration begins. So when I talk about authenticity, it might be falling on deaf ears. I don't know. But the truth is, if you're feeling frustrated or lost, or you're not feeling the depth and connection with people, that's the problem. And people don't say like, "Oh, that guy was terrible. He's inauthentic." But they'll say something is off. I don't know. There's something weird, or I just can't seem to connect, or they're just a weirdo. So my job is to really clarify what's the weirdo? Like what is it about you or what is it about that person that you're sort of just like pushing them away or being pushed away. And I love that because to me, it's like solving, it's not like it is, it's solving a puzzle that is causing frustration and that doesn't feel good. So I hate that it says video vixen when it's not the case. So today we're going to talk about some other little quirky things that happen so that they get in the way of you being authentic. And one of them is if you really want to be that person who everyone wants to talk to in the room, and it's not like an overwhelming, oh, I must talk to them, but it's like, oh, I wonder what that guy's about. So I have this client, and we've been working together a while, and I want to celebrate him. And basically, he came to me the way he was and we've been working together. And one of my like super most goddess friends um, asked me about him, and I was like, "Ooh, that's so cool," because I regard her as having really high standards. You know, she has really high standards, and so for her to ask me about my client, who's also my friend, I was like, I don't even care if they connect or what. It's just like a nice reflection of how amazing he's doing and all the work that he's putting in on himself. And, you know, and talking about another woman, another client who's a woman, it's like she thought she came to me, she's in her 60s, she came to me looking for a guy. Like that was her thing. Her husband passed away and she's really lonely and all this stuff. But in our work together, she realized how much energy she puts towards having a guy means her life is successful. And then it started to, you know, emerge. What started to emerge was that, like, it's really nice to have a guy in my life, but I actually want to come back to my acting career. And she was a stage actress. She was which to me means more scripts and readings and memorization, which is something I can help people be prepared for, but it's not, I don't help people with scripts in general. And so just realizing that she put that dream away and her main focus of I have to empty my garbage pail here. Her main focus of getting a guy made her like pigeonhole her life into like this one thing. If I have this one thing, everything will be great. And the truth is, that's not how it works, right? So when you put your self worth into one thing being so great, it's making you have a very small world. So, in the meantime, as she was hunting and searching for a guy, what emerged was her desire to go back into theater and to throw away the idea that she was too old or there was no roles for her and blah, blah, blah. Well, I can't wait to tell you her success. So basically, what happened to her was I was like, you know what? Just dive the fuck in, go on auditions. Doesn't even matter if you like the script, if you don't like the script. Because as you're getting ready for it, as you wake up in the morning, there's new energy, there's excitement, there's nerves that are like, ooh, something is going to happen. Anyway, she went to the audition and there was a lot of people there and it was like really refreshing to be back in the world. And so, you know, in her mind, she was like, I'm going to go to the audition and I'm going to meet somebody in the waiting room. And I was like, okay, whatever. She has that mindset. But in the meantime, what happened, which I feel good about and which she feels good about, is she got to talk about the arts again. She got to be in the world of the arts and she got to express what she's done in the past, what she wants to do. She gave out some of her business cards. She got some connections that are excited and you know to get to know her, and she met some younger people who are like, ooh, we'd love to pick your brain, and that she loves. Not everybody loves that, but she does because it makes her feel useful. So now she's not like sitting home anymore just swiping on her app hoping and praying that the guy is going to show up, the prince charming. And so when your whole life feels good, the energy that you're in is like, ooh, I'm in so many different communities, anything can happen. And if you're just focused on one thing, like a little thing, then your life feels small. And when your life feels small and all the focus is on one thing and you're like, I want this, I want this, I want this, it's actually pushing it away. Because when you don't believe it's already on its way to you, then it's like you don't trust the universe. So you have to keep repeating and harping on it and figuring it out and doing all these hard things. So what I love, and Strut the Stage is coming up May 20th and 21st, and it's open for men and women in New York City, or anywhere where you can get to Rockaway. And the show is the 26th. What happens is when you're on stage, and especially this unconventional improv that I teach, all of a sudden you're just being. You're just real, you're just showing up, you're just in the scene, and what emerges is authenticity. And it's intense because everybody's watching you. So the cleansing of the stuff that's not real, the coping mechanisms, and I'll share one or two so you can get what I'm talking about. Um, they just sort of get pushed away. So here are some coping mechanisms. So when men and women are having conversations and it starts to get a little intense, or somebody says something that's a little bit like, ooh, whatever that is. If you're the kind of person that avoids intensity, so intensity can be caused by truth. So if somebody says to the other person, wow, I'm really attracted to you, the other person might make a corny joke. So corny jokes happen because there's something that a person is trying to avoid, and it happens so much with people that are sensitive. Because when you're sensitive and there's too much attention on something that makes you like hyper aware, you're going to try to divert it and push it somewhere else. And this is straight up behavior. And so if you notice that you do that, you might not stop doing it, but just take a step back in your own self and be like, what's happening right now? Is there something I'm trying to avoid? Is there something that I'm trying to do to get this person to like me? Is the other person feeling bad or seemingly feeling bad, and I'm trying to lighten the mood? So that is a huge thing that causes trouble in romantic relationships, because if a woman is coming to a man with like a problem or some big energy, the man might think he has to solve the problem. And the way he might solve that problem is like giving advice or saying, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Or they try to lighten the mood so that the woman doesn't feel that intensity anymore. And on the flip side, women overcompensate with um, trying to feel or look pretty. And that is something that I'm really familiar with. Like when I'm feeling my most insecure, I'm like in the mirror, trying to like do certain things. And it doesn't make anyone feel good. It just makes us as women feel like if I'm not looking the best I can, then the person who could be the man is going to think like, oh, she's too old, she's too fat, she's too ugly, like there's some fear. And the truth is it's based in reality. Like a lot of times if a man doesn't like what a woman is saying, he'll discredit her by saying, oh, she doesn't know what she's talking about, she's old. It's just like I've heard it so many times, like different ways, where guys think they feel cool with me so they can say that. And I'm just like, ooh, I don't really know. Like anybody can be anybody and have an opinion. It doesn't mean they're right or wrong. And it definitely doesn't mean because they're old or not attractive to you or not your body type that you find attractive that they're wrong. So I'm saying a lot of information right now. And so I'd love to know anything that you're getting or your feedback, or what is this bringing up for you. Um, and there's some of you that are so great with this. So give me feedback as soon as you're ready. I have a event tonight at my temple, so I did my makeup for the event and for you guys. And earlier I pulled a card and I'll share it with you. Right now the cards are under the computer, but it's the card of the miracle, Mary, it's goddess Mary. And what this card talks about and what the picture is like she's looking up, she's looking towards the heavens, so to speak. And she has like a smirk or a smile on her face, and she's touching her heart a little bit, and she has all this mystical air around her. It sparkles. And it's really here, she's here just to remind us that we don't have to just be in the logistical, mundane, everyday life where we're trying to figure things out. Like there is something based in faith. Like it's happened to me before. I can get through this and it can happen again in a different way. And it's all collective. It's not like, oh, the same thing happens to me every time. So even if you think that's true, there's always different people involved. So it's not like there's a conspiracy against you. So to really remember that there are miracles, and actually I'm in one. Like my bungalow, this house, when I came here, um, when I moved to this block, actually, I had no money in the bank. My credit was fucking shit. I didn't like my job. And I went to all these places and they were like, credit, we need this, we need that. And I was like, I don't have any of it. Now or I didn't have it, and it wasn't good. But I lived down the block, for like the winter, and I built up credibility on the block. And then all of a sudden, not only am I in this bungalow, but my landlord redid like gutted the place for me. He wanted to put in a shower. I was like, it's non-negotiable. I need a bathtub. I have a great bathtub. So living in a miracle, to me, that's a miracle, like actually being born is a miracle. Like a lot of my family passed away and were killed in the Holocaust. So I'm a miracle. Hello, I'm a miracle. And so I can't. Now, I don't want to skip over any dark and heavy feelings or sadness or grief, and I won't, but I do want to remember that there are miracles, and it's important as fuck to have faith that miracles always happen. You can read as much information, you can listen to me and try to apply, you can watch YouTube videos, you can get books, but at the end of the day, there's something that happens that creates miracles, and that's where I love to play. So while I'm a behaviorist and I figure out different mindset things and different behaviors to take and make, there also is the belief that if you put and apply yourself to things that you want in your life, inner and outer, that the universe does provide. And you can be religious, you can be spiritual, you can be scientific based, you can be an atheist, whatever. But every single one of those genres has a different way of saying miracles, right? So it could be manifestation, it could be miracles, it could be spell work, it could be energy, quantum physics, like all these things are basically the fucking same. And depending on who you like as your teacher, as your mentor, everyone should have a mentor. I mean, the importance of having a mentor helps bring out your authenticity in a way that serves you. So if you believe you're being authentic, you're being your authentic self. I believe you. And we have these different parts. So it is very authentic of me to want to go spend $1,000 at Bloomingdale's and Nordstrom Rack. It's very authentic of me to do that. It'll feel good. I'll be super psyched. One part. The next part, that's like, Shane, you want to do big things and you're looking to own a theater and you're looking to do all these amazing things. Is spending $1,000 on clothing that you don't really have any room for the wisest decision? So both of those are authentic points of view, but my choice to allow one to lead over the other, that's my whole self. So I love when people are open to look and learn about their different parts that are authentic. And there's an authentic part of me that's like, it's not fair. Why don't I have bigger closets? Why don't I have $100,000 in my checking account so I could do both things, you know? And so that part, the victimy, blaming, angry part, that's also very authentic. So it's like, how do I notice which parts of me are running the show so that I can live in full integrity and feel good about myself. And if I choose to spend $1,000 shopping, that I feel really good about it, I feel peaceful about it. Maybe it helps me generate, more things to give away. Like, how does my whole life work in like a symbiotic way so that all my parts feel seen, all my parts feel authentic, and none of them are doing anything or I'm making any decisions from any of those parts that actually create a problem in my life. Like when I didn't have rent money, did it make sense to go to Nordstrom and like go spend $1,000? Definitely no. But did I do a lot of that anyway? Yeah, because I was like, I deserve it. So that victim angry part of me did things that got fucked up. And then during COVID, I paid off all my debt. But now, do you think I didn't accrue more debt? No, that's who I am. It's authentic. Now, am I smarter about spending money? Absolutely. Do I go spend 1,000 at a time? No, definitely not. I don't have room. So, but now my attic is getting done and I'll have more room. But now, then it's time to like work with my whole self and be like, okay, actually, what is my plan here? But I have a plan written out, so it's not like I'm just gonna go be like, "Wee, I have more space." So paying attention to your authenticity and also not letting the most wounded parts make your decisions. That's what I really love helping people with. And when I work with people who get stuck in the friend zone or aren't getting the intimacy that they want or they're not getting the deep connections they want, it's not because they're doing the wrong things. They're just not doing the rightest things for what they want in their life. They don't have systems that feel good. Maybe they have goals that they're mad that they haven't reached yet. And so when we get mad at ourselves, we start to act out and have self sabotaging behaviors. And the truth is, they are also authentic. But to have accountability, to not work against yourself, well, that's everything. And actually, that feels so cool and so important that I'm going to end right there. Okay, if I have any cement worker friends, if you could write me a message, I would love some support on building a garden wall with bricks and cement. Okay, in the meantime, I am offering something new because I love connection. So I'm offering 10 one-on-one, 11, maybe I'll offer 11 minute, what did I call them? Connection calls. And they are for men only, and they're for the man that feels a little bit left out, a little bit lost, and wants to connect with their leading man. And so I'll put the link up for that. If you know any man that wants to do that, there's going to be no sales pitch. I'm just looking for connection. And I have some questions. And I find that men don't answer my polls that I put, or a lot of them don't. So we're going to have 11 minute calls. So I'll put that link up and I'll put it in the comments. And if you don't see it right away, you can search for it or you can send me a message. And basically, we're just going to get clarity. That's it. It's 11 minutes. We're not going to go super deep, but I know how to go super deep enough that we'll both feel satisfaction and clarity. Okay, so have an amazing rest of your day. Here's the link. Do, 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 do. I'm going to put it up. Send it to your friends. Oh, look at that. Remove module. View the post. Oh no, I don't know what I'm doing. All right, I'll figure this out. Have a great rest of your day. I'll put up this comment and I will see you soon. Shabbat Shalom.